Hi, in today's video we're going to use the ogr2ogr command line application to convert a CSV file to geojson. So what we have on the desktop is a file called input.csv, and I can use the CSV cut command with the -n option to have a look at the columns in there. We've got the name, description, address, latitude and longitude. What we're going to do is basically convert that CSV file into a geojson file that we can import into a mapping application like Google My Maps or MapHub. So the way we do that is ogr2ogr with the -f option, and we specify the output format as geojson. And the output file name is going to be output.json, and the input file is going to be input.csv. And what we need to do is specify the latitude and longitude columns that we're going to be using. So -00 x possible names equals longitude, -00 y possible names equals latitude, and the final option here, -00 keep geom columns equals no. What that's going to do is that will suppress adding the latitude and longitude to the description that will appear in the maps pop-up. So basically all we need to do is run this command here. So I'll switch across to the terminal, and we have the input.csv file. So we run ogr2ogr -f, specify geojson, the output.json, input.csv, specify the longitude and latitude columns, and we've now got our JSON file. So I can open that. So I think it's just okay. That's better. So what we can see here is in this JSON file that it contains the name, description, address, and the geometry, which is the points, the longitude and latitude. So what I'm going to do now is actually import that into a mapping application. We've got Google Maps here. I'll click import, and I'm not sure that actually Google My Maps doesn't allow you to import JSON, I don't think. Nope. Okay, so you can't import geojson into My Maps, but I showed you in a previous video how we can convert a CSV file into KML and import that into My Maps. What I'm going to do is come across to MapHub, which does support importing geojson. I'll click import and select the output.json file, and it's going to process it. And as you see here, we have a list of all the addresses with the name, description and the address, and it's suppressed adding the GPS coordinates to the pop-up. So that's how we can convert a CSV file that has longitude and latitude information into a JSON file that we can import into MapHub. Let me just briefly recap on that. What we did was used ogr2ogr, specified the output format of geojson, the output file name, the input file name, the longitude and latitude columns, and we suppressed adding the GPS information to the pop-up. So the important thing is you actually have to have the longitude and latitude in the CSV file for this to work. But as I showed you in a previous video, using Google Earth Pro, you can batch geocode addresses into GPS coordinates, save it as a KML file, and you can then actually convert the KML file back into a CSV file that we could then actually process and convert into a JSON file. So that's how we can convert a CSV file into geojson.